Hi.
Hi, Natasha. Hi, everybody.
Hi, April. Okay, we've got probably half the people. Oh no, we've got more than half. Nearly everybody connected now. Okay, fantastic. Oh, enjoy MasterChef.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, fantastic. I think we have everyone now. Excellent. So, today we're going to be talking more about the article that we read on Monday, in Monday's session, which was talking about how we need time to daydream so that we can be creative. And it talked a lot about technology as well. I think a lot of you were here on Monday when we were reading it. So could someone maybe give us a little bit of a summary about some of the points you remember or some of the important things that they mentioned? Luca.
Yes. The article talk about smartphone, tablets, the new technology devices that has in some way stole space at our creativity. So in the article there are some examples. One regarding a flight company which has proposed to the people during the flight to use to respond at some questions instead to use devices, or better, they could use only devices like the phones, not computers or tablet. And another thing that I remember is that about the shocks. There is a study which has demonstrated that a lot of people nowadays prefer an electric shock instead to remain around 15 minutes alone in with his dogs. With they in the article they spoke about daydreaming. For a lot of studies, these devices, these electronic devices, stole time at our daydreaming.
Yes, exactly. They don't allow us, so they don't give us the opportunity to do any daydreaming. Artem?
Yes.
Yeah, right. But I would like to add a little bit what I have chosen to myself as the main point of this article, which had read on Monday. I think we talked about the idle moments and the useful moments of them, of idle moments, without involving in some activity related with devices like mobile phone and so forth. And the main point we have read about the attention system, which involves inner part and outer one, and we have to figure out much than early in your age. You will figure out how to use it, how you will be more successful. I think it's the main point. Thank you for the mic.
Thank you. Yes, we're putting a lot of attention outside of ourselves now, and the article was talking about having to put more intention inside of ourselves, or more attention on ourselves, I guess. Paula?
Yes. And yes, the writer suggested to take some free moments, some wandering moment to improve our ability to be creative and to have new ideas. And one of the suggestion is to take a break and to take a shower. The writer said that if you take a shower in that time, you can have a new idea and you can solve a problem that you are thinking about. And another thing that I remember, they explained that we have two kind of attention. One kind is the network, the resting network, and it's a typology of attention that we are able to use only when we are at rest. And we have another kind of attention that is the active attention that we can use only when we are doing something. And these two this pathway, can't work together, and so we need to have different kind of activity and moment of rest to be able to use our brain ability.
Excellent. Yes, exactly. We need to give ourselves time to use these two different sides and not just stay all on one side or all on the other side. Nikolai?
Okay. I understand from the article that it says that way of daydreaming is more creativity way, and I remember that American are spending 10 hours a day for media. I'm not sure that is true, but it's very bad. So also I remember that some people did an experiment where they offer to people sitting without activity or get shock, electrical shock, and people chose the shock. Okay, so and it's all.
Thank you. Yes, I think this was one of the most interesting parts about the article when they talked about this electric shock and the fact that so many people will choose to receive an electric shock instead of having to sit without a distraction or without anything to distract them for that length of time. I thought it was very interesting as well. I don't know if you've all read some of the responses on the forum about this question, but there was lots of different kinds of responses to this as well. I'm trying to see who's here and remember what everyone said, but it kind of went from, oh no, I would never get an electric shock, that hurts, to, oh, I get shocks all the time, it's not that bad, to, I think, Artem, you wanted to give people shocks instead of receiving the shocks. So let's do, which wasn't really the question, but anyway, let's talk about this first then. So if you had to choose between sitting for 15 minutes with no distractions, no phone, no book, no TV, nothing to keep you busy. If you had to do it for 15 minutes, would you do it or would you receive the electric shock instead? Paola?
Yes, I definitely prefer to stay at rest and having nothing to do than the electric shock, actually.
Why?
Yes, I can't understand why people prefer to have an electric shock just to be focused on something. Actually, I can't really understand the reason. I think that is a sort of disease or sort of pathology.
That they like pain, maybe, or
Yeah.
something like that. I think maybe it's just because it finishes quickly. They get the shock, the little pain, but then they can keep looking at their social media.
Yes, but this is still a little pain, and so if you can avoid it, I think that you can. It's better to avoid it.
I agree, I think. April?
Actually, I don't understand why they give us these two choices between do nothing and electric shock. Why electric shocks? Why is it? Why they choose that possibility? But of course, I will choose not doing nothing. But I mean, I hope that I still can use my brain and that I can think. That, as I said, I can daydream. I can try to daydream because I don't think it is easy to daydream. I think it's also written in the text that nowadays this daydreaming is not that easy. That is, it is easier said than done, because how can you do that? How can you do this daydreaming? I don't know. Daydreaming means, I think, that you have to think about something pleasant, about yourself, about the past. I can't remember. I can't think that I have done that. I should learn how to do that. That is more something. Yeah, daydreaming, is that the same? Is it similar as just meditation, or is it something else? Do you really have to think about something pleasant, or because in meditation, I think you have to clear your mind. You have to focus on something that doesn't important, that isn't important, I think, in meditation. But in daydreaming, you have to think about something pleasant. Otherwise it doesn't work, right? I don't know. But of course, I will choose that 15 minutes doing nothing. And as I said, I said Haiti, but it wasn't the island Haiti. It is in Tuvalu that you have to do nothing on Sunday, the whole day. You can go to the church, and after the church, you can just stay resting at home and not doing nothing, not even reading or listening to the radio. I don't know. I think it is the whole day. But on the other hand, for the Jews, they have also that kind of period, because on Sabbath, on Saturday, they are also not allowed to do anything, to do some work. So they have to cook the on Friday everything. So on Sunday, on Saturday, they just eat it and go to the synagogue, and after that doing nothing also. Okay, I will stop here. I think I have talked too much.
No problem, April. That's what we're here to do. But yeah, I don't know that daydreams have to always be pleasant. I think because a lot of them are just thinking about the future and what's going to happen in the future. So I think while it's nice if they're pleasant, I don't think they always have to be pleasant. I think you could just think, for example, tomorrow it would be great if this happens and oh, I have to do that, but that's okay because I get to do this. So I don't think it has to be necessarily just about pleasant things. I think it's as long as you're not really focused on one thing, maybe. you're just letting your mind wander, I think it's okay. I don't know if if there's any rules about daydreaming or not. Artem?
Yeah, just think about the power of electricity. What power is of electrocution? I just remember that I took apart the lighter and electrocute my schoolmates. It was like you take a shower, but it's not so harmful to your health actually. You are just be more focused, getting more focused on a subject. I just don't know. Did you do this stuff? Like I have said, take apart the lighter. I some the lighter is does exist. There are a lot of kind of, but with electrocutions, it's good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I've never done it. Let's see if anybody else has, but I don't think I know of any lighters, or I don't think I've ever seen a lighter that's electrical. Most of the ones I've seen have gas or are kind of lighter fluids, so they don't actually have any electricity in them. So maybe it's a different kind that I haven't seen. Luca?
Yes, I have to say one thing. More or less, I take one electric shock every time that I get off my car. I don't know why. During summer, always. So I'm a little bit used to electric shocks. Anyway, me too agree with others that prefer daydreaming, because for sure is healthy for ourselves, our brains, and for sure it can permit our to improve, like people, to improve also our ideas.
Yeah, I agree. I think 15 minutes really isn't that long when you think about it. So I think I'd prefer just to sit there for 15 minutes than to get an electric shock. Even if it wasn't a very strong electric shock, I still don't think it'd be very pleasant. And who knows, the 15 minutes of daydreaming might be good. It might be interesting. You might discover a lot of things or think of some really great ideas. Nikolai?
Okay. I have a question. Does no distraction mean no activity at all? I can't do daydreaming, yes?
You can do daydreaming, yes, but it means that you won't have things like a television or a phone or a book, or there's nothing to distract you.
Okay, but
it's just
I think
in a room with your thoughts.
Oh yes, I think I can be sitting there maybe one day. So okay. I mean, it's not difficult for 15 minutes. It's not difficult for a day, because it's interesting thinking about something. I sing. You can sing. You can. Yes, it's interesting, I think.
Yeah, there's plenty of other things you can do really without having to use a phone or something else to distract you, really. Manu?
Yes, thank you. I agree with Nikolai, because 15 minutes are not so long a time for thinking about whatever. I have I guess maybe people who can't bear sitting alone for 15 minutes. It is because they have an empty mind, so they can't they physically can't think of whatever, because else you should be able to stay to sit for just 15 minutes and think of whatever. Or maybe they are afraid of getting asleep. This is another guess. Otherwise, I have not answers for this behavior. Thank you.
Okay, so you mean you think that people who wouldn't be able to do this, who would prefer the electric shock, maybe they're a little bit scared about what their brain will tell them, or what they'll think about when they stop, or they're so tired that they need all this stimulus from other things to just keep them awake and keep them going. If they stop, they fall asleep.
Yes, exactly, Natasha.
Okay, April?
How long do we have to have that electric shocks actually?
Just
Is
one
it
shock.
also one shock only? Oh, that's nothing. But why should I do that? But I will tell you all the secrets. It has nothing to do with daydreaming, but about electric shock. Some years ago, that was a hype. Yeah, still now also, but at that time the hype was to use some shocks like that, and that device looks like butterflies, so two butterflies, and it is to exercise your muscle, and the intention is, the purpose of that device is, and in the publicity, it's to get your abdomen to have your a slim abdomen. And I think, oh yeah, I can do that. I can use that. I need that. So I buy that. I bought that. That it's not expensive. It's just it's just a cheap one. And I think, oh, I can do that. It is. I think you have to do that 15 minutes. You have to put it. It is on battery, yeah? So you have to put it on your stomach, on your abdomen, and it has a nap, sucks nap, so it stays, it stick on your stomach, and then you set it on, and it started giving you a shock, giving you a shock. My goodness, it's not pleasant at all. Yeah, Nadia, it's, oh my god. It is painful, you know. I think I just only used 2 or 3 times, and my stomach and my abdomen is still thick. No, it's not slim at all. So no shocks, no electric shocks for me. Okay.
Yes, I wonder what the theory is behind that, about why it's supposed to make you lose weight in that area. Maybe it's because you contract your muscles so much from the pain that it's kind of like doing ab exercises or something. I don't know, but it doesn't sound like very fun. Something actually that I think April mentioned earlier as well about daydreaming, that she finds it difficult to daydream. And I wondered, does anyone else have this problem as well? Does anyone else feel like they can't daydream, or you don't daydream, or you find it difficult to daydream? Luca?
For me, is quite easy daydream, because it's not so good to say, but I drive a lot during the week, and when I drive for long distances, for example, for 3 hours or 4 hours, or for me, it's impossible to keep the concentration 100% for all the trip. So in some moments, I think I daydream, or some that is very very similar to the daydream, because after a few minutes you come back, you look the street and I was I was thinking about other things, and I didn't think about the street.
Yes, you have to be very careful on this, but yeah, I guess it is an example of daydreaming, when your mind kind of wanders and starts thinking about other things than the thing you're supposed to be concentrating on, really. Yeah, I think especially if you're traveling for long distances, this can be very easy to happen, because you have to concentrate on the same thing for such a long time. Artem?
Yeah, it just depends of what are you doing. Actually, it's also about our brain, how it's work. It's our brain is very lazy, and it's too difficult to convince him to think in one direction, and he will come up with so big amount of idea how to distract you of do some productive thing actually, or just doze off as much as he can, but he will do anything but to try avoid of some um, uh, mental activity, to think on some subject about something boring actually. And when you just free and don't maybe just waiting for something, yes, it's very easy to just to go away and start daydreaming.
Okay, so maybe this is a good question then. When you have to wait somewhere, so for example, you have to wait in a line, or you have to wait for an appointment, or you have to wait for something to start, basically. And you've already arrived to where you need to be, and basically you just have to sit there and wait until your name is called. During this time when you have to wait, what do you usually do? Do you usually daydream, or think about things maybe that you have to do? Or do you use that time to do other things, like check your phone or read a book, or use some kind of technology? How do you spend that time? Nikolai?
Okay, so sometimes I spend this time as I can sing sing some melody. Maybe I sometimes I learn some words, but I think I usually use smartphone, but without media. I mean, without. Sometimes I check my email, but most time I think about something creativity, maybe music, maybe interesting words, maybe some story about something. This.
Okay. When you're singing, are you singing in public places as well, or is the singing more when you're just at home by yourself?
Just by myself, because it's difficult for me, some kind of difficult. I'm learning singing, and maybe sometimes I can sing something for us, or sometimes, not today. Okay.
Yes. I wondered if you, for example, you're sitting waiting to see the doctor and you were singing in the waiting room for all the other patients. I thought they'd be very entertained.
Yes, it's funny, but sometimes I drum, some rhythms. It's my main problem because some people look at me as what is it called in English? I mean, is crazy man because I sitting in my leg drum. I mean,
You tap your foot.
Unstopping. Yes. Yeah. It's crazy, maybe.
Maybe it just depends if your shoes are very loud or not, if your shoes are making a loud noise.
Yes, right.
Okay, Artem?
I think I can find in this situation a lot of how to entertain myself. But these days, if I have a mobile phone, I will use it, and I all the times carry with myself headphones, and I would like to listen some music in this waiting time, or just if I have a lot of energy and too difficult to sit, or maybe too long come to get to some place, and I just would be going from one side of the wall, from one side of the room to another side of the room, and make everyone around crazy. Just go around from one side to another side. And I think the worst moment to the people who is also waiting for some people who gather maybe for the same purpose like as me. It would be if I have met on my way a pen, which I don't know in English, which click. If we push on the top of the pen, it will make sound like click. I think it's a very annoying sound.
Yes, this is a very frustrating sound for the people around you. And the funny thing is, usually the person who's doing it doesn't realize how annoying it is until someone yells at them to stop. Stop that noise! Luca?
In my case, what that I note is if I'm in relax, I take a few minutes or I take time for to daydream. While if I'm not in relax, I'm nervous or I have to do something in the near future. Okay, I can't, or for me it's difficult daydream, but I prefer play with the phone or with the tablet. One example is when I am in the airport, I have make call like the. Put the luggages, greeted people. Okay, in that case, I can daydream, for example, or also when you are under the shower. Is for me is another moment where you can daydream because you are in completely relaxed. Or also, as said before, is not good, but while driving.
Yes, this probably isn't the best time to do it, but it does happen. I want to talk more about the shower thing as well, but first I think, Manu, you wanted to provide an explanation for Nikolai.
Yes, thank you. I refer to what Nikolai said about singing when waiting for a doctor in a queue. So I was asking Nikolai, but by singing you meant just humming, which is going or maybe sing just with actual words, the lyric of the song you know. This is my not singing, just going okay, I got it.
Thank you. That's a wonderful explanation. I used to do this a lot without realizing when I was a child. And somebody who sat next to me, I only realized when the person who sat next to me said, "Stop singing." And I was in shock. I said, "But I'm not singing." And they said, "Yes, you are. You're singing." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." So this is another thing that can be very frustrating to other people, I think. Okay, so let's go back to the shower question then. They mentioned in the article that if you needed to solve a problem or you needed to be creative about something, that taking a shower can help you, can give you time to daydream, and you can solve your idea or you can figure out something. But what do you think about this? Has anyone tried this idea before? Did it work? Nadia?
Yes, Natasha. I'm not completely agree with this. I think it's not in the shower itself, but for me, if I have something to solve in work or even before while when I was studying, I have to think of it first. I'll do all the tries that I can to solve it, and then if I finished with all of that, I just leave it. And maybe in the next morning or even in the same day after hours, it's like if you open a lamp or something, it's just come up. I think it's the internal brain that they spoke about it in the article last time, because maybe something in the background still going on. I don't know how, but I have first to try myself and do all the choices that I have to solve something. And if I couldn't, then I leave it. Sometimes it happened to me that it just come up like this easily.
Okay, so you think maybe your internal brain does solve these things for you, but it's not quite so easy as just taking a shower or something like that. You have to first really think about it so that your internal brain has or your internal attention has all the information maybe to make a good decision and to solve this for you. Okay, what does everyone else think? Do you think the shower is a good place to daydream? Or what is the best place to daydream? April?
I think take a bath is better than take a shower to daydream, but it doesn't work for me. I don't have bath in the past, yes, but now I only have shower, so and it doesn't work. Just like today, when I took a shower, and instead of daydreaming or get something resolved, I got another question, another problems, and I think, okay, after the shower, I have to do that. That is what I was thinking when I took the shower, and then after the shower, I forgot what I was decided to do, and now also I have to think now. What have I decided when I took the shower? So it doesn't work for me, and I think maybe in a bath. So I said a bath is a better place because you are more relaxed. in a bath, you do nothing also, just half lay down there. And in the shower, you have to be careful because otherwise you will get soap in your eyes, and the water is too hot or too cold. I don't know. So it is more concentrating than in bath. And I think, sorry to say that is. I think a lot of people will agree with me. If you go to the toilet, that is also because I also always have books there, and it's a place to relax actually there. I think. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. I think Manu and Martin were already discussing that actually, that this was a good place to dream. Paula, do you agree or do you have a different place?
Yes. Actually, I don't have enough time to daydream when I take a shower because I'm very fast when I take a shower, and so it's not for me. It's not a good place to daydream. As Luca, I drive at least 1 or 1.5 hour a day, and so driving it's for me one of the best time to daydream and to wandering. And the other one is before to fall asleep, because I'm relaxed, and so it's one of my favorite time to daydream. But I can confirm that for some people, especially men, I think the toilet is one of the best place to daydream, to wonder, to think. And actually, my husband had his brightest idea in the toilet, and so I can confirm that for some people it's the best place.
Ah, so that's why people take so long then. It's because it's their it's their daydreaming time.
Okay, I don't know, Emanuele, but I think that men are more prone to spend a lot of time in the toilet than women, at least in my experience, but I can say for everyone.
Okay. Artem, you wanted to add something.
Yeah, I wanted, but yeah, I don't know, but I have a friend who spent a lot of time in toilet, but according to me, I just don't feel my legs in a few in a few minutes, and then I have no idea how to start dreaming there. No, my favorite place, it's not place, it's rain. When it's raining outside, and I would like to be in my balcony or in my country house, and everywhere is raining and this raw air, and it's a little bit at night, evening, and I think that's the best place to dream. And actually, when you're alone.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. That's something that we haven't really talked about, that maybe the weather or where you actually are physically. So maybe if you're at work or if you're outside or inside, or if it's daytime or nighttime, because you can still daydream during the day. It just means that you're awake, not necessarily that it's daytime and there's sun. So, okay, do you think this affects daydreaming then? Whether if you had to pick your perfect place to daydream, would it be inside or outside? Would it be sunny? Would it be rainy? Where do you think would be like the perfect conditions to daydream? Manu?
Well, I like go outside strolling having a walk outside. Maybe also when it is rainy. It is the rainy weather to me is really inspiring. So when I go relaxed, strolling outside, I I have great moments of daydreaming. I like go without a purpose, walking around. And if it isn't sunny, but it's rainy, sometimes I prefer. I don't know why, but it is so with me. Thank you.
Yeah, I think sometimes walking around kind of helps as well, as long as you're not maybe listening to music or doing something else at the same time. But sometimes just walking around or doing exercising, yeah, or jogging as well. When you're doing these kinds of activities outside, that can give your brain maybe a little bit of extra energy to dream up things and to imagine things as well. Nadia?
Yes, Natasha. I'm sorry, I know that I asked last time about daydreaming, but now I'm confused. When you daydreaming, what you do exactly? You think of future, or you just think of the things that you will do tomorrow, today, real things? So, I mean, what is it exactly?
I would say really it's kind of like thoughts that you have that aren't related to what you're doing at that present time. So, like, I think it was Luca who said he does it when he's driving. So instead of thinking about driving, he's thinking about other things. It can be things about the future. Mostly it's things about the future, but it could also be things about the past as well. It could be imaginary things that you know would never happen. They don't have to be real things. It's just kind of like a story, basically, that you have in your head that take your attention away from what you're doing in that minute or what you're doing. But you're usually awake when it happens. So it isn't something that your brain is doing by itself. You can kind of control it a little bit and decide what's going to happen next in this story or this dream that you're having. So you have a little bit more control over it. But yeah, we talk about your mind wandering as well, like when it's just thinking about lots of different things. So you can think of a daydream as being like that as well. You're just letting your brain go where it wants to go. You're not forcing it really to concentrate on anything in particular. Does that make a little bit more sense? Okay, Artem?
Yeah, just also get a little bit confused when you're talking about dreaming while you are doing some active exercising, like you have mentioned, jogging, running, jumping. According to the article, it's external attention system, I think. But I just can imagine myself when I just when I running or going somewhere with full attention to my moves, where I go, what kind of how quickly I run. I just can to start dreaming. I have to be calm and sit and don't involve my body to go. Maybe just strolling a little slowly. I can start, but the duration of dreaming, it won't be last long if we will compare to just sitting in a chair and just in a few minutes you can get asleep.
Ah, okay. So for you then, for daydreaming, you need to be very relaxed, very quiet, very calm. Being active and doing other things, that isn't going to help you daydream then.
So I just relate dreaming to inner part, not to visual, to your eyes. I think it's about what are you thinking about imagination, not describing your circumstances. Like this car how passed me. The another was after this one. You are describing something about it. But when you are imagine, I was talking about it. Some new world. Is it?
Yeah, it is about your thoughts, but I guess you could use things that you're seeing around you they could enter in your daydream. So if you're walking down the street and maybe you see a really expensive car, maybe you could say, "Oh, look, there goes my butler or my driver. Oh, he's taking my car out and letting me walk for a while. Oh, he's so nice letting me do that." That's a way that you use something that you're physically seeing, but you're kind of daydreaming about it because it's probably not your car. Well, yeah, it's not your car. And you probably don't have a driver who's driving it for you. But, you can use that time to kind of dream and make believe about maybe something that could be true. Probably not going to be true, but it could be fun to think about. Okay, so another question a little bit different for everyone. Do you think we should be trying to make more time in our day to do this kind of daydreaming? Do you think it's important for creativity or for other reasons to deliberately make time without any other distractions, just to let your mind wander and to let yourself daydream? Artem?
I think not too often we have to spare time for this activity, but we don't have to forget to do this activity. Not just, I think, according to me, I to like to think, do I live proper way or not? Maybe something need to change in that kind of way. Because if you will, life is running so quickly, and we should have some time to just have a breeze to think about what I'm doing is really what I wanted to do. Maybe there is a time to change something. I think this time, this kind of thoughts is the best for this activity. Thank you.
Yeah, they can be important to kind of dream about your future and how you want things to be, and maybe about whether what you're doing now is going to get you to those dreams, whether it's going to help you achieve those dreams or not, so that you can maybe change things in your life or change things that you're doing so that you can achieve those dreams. Luca?
Yeah, I think that daydreaming is positive when you make daydreaming in the positive way. That is one of the most difficult things in the life, I think, because in my case, but I think also for a lot of people, the normal life is stressful, and a lot of time your daydreaming is about episodes that were very stressful or negative for you, and after these episodes you think about that, oh, for example, during the work, your colleague make angry you, and then in the next few days, you think about this. For me, is not positive. It's not positive for your brain, and is not positive also for your body, because the brain and body work together. And the secret is for me is to make brain work in the positive way. But is difficult. Is very difficult. In this moment, I can't do this all the time, because a lot of times if I think about something negative, and then after a few minutes I come back. Oh, okay, Luca, don't think about this. But your brain goes away.
Yes, it thinks about it, wants to think about it, doesn't always listen to what you tell it to think about. Maybe this is why as well, I think April and some others mentioned that sometimes these daydreams are more like nightmares instead of dreams, because they can be very negative sometimes. Manu?
Yes, I agree with Luke. I think workplace is a place where you get very stressful, frustrated, and is a place where I absolutely can't daydreaming. I have forget as soon as possible the workplace. So when I come back home, I like to enter a new reality, which sometimes, in my case, is reading books, which really take my attention, and I get a big pleasure to keep reading these novels. And sometimes my daydreaming is make as if I were a character of the novel I am reading. So it's like living in a new reality, which is the antidote, my preferred antidote against the frustration in workplaces. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I've done this as well, actually. Kind of had daydreams where you imagine that you're either a character in the book, or maybe you're inside that world that the book is talking about. I think this is probably a common way to daydream, actually, because you don't have to think of all the details yourself. You've already got something to base your daydream on. Mena?
Okay, hello guys. Hello Natasha. I just want to say that I heard before when hi Nadia. When you have a hope or a dream in your life, or we can say a goal, and you want to achieve it. I heard that when you imagine yourself, for example, in a specific position you want to reach, your brain help you to achieve your goals. Okay, when you imagine yourself that you achieved that dream or that hope. So I think it's a kind of a daydreaming. And that kind of imagination, I think daydreaming is a positive thing. Did you get it?
Yes, definitely. Kind of like positive thinking and imagine that you're reaching your dreams can help you get there. I agree. I think it's a good way of daydreaming, or a positive way to daydream, really.
Yes, that's
Roro?
Yeah, I agree with all guys. They covered all my point. So I agree with them. It's important if you want to managing your mind or managing your plans. It's important time, and if you are busy all the time, you need dreaming day or dreaming mind to think about your future, and if you have goals you want to achieve it, yes, it's important to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Nikolai.
Oh yes. So yes, I agree. I agree with the dreaming should be maybe positive, but I mean sometimes it's good if it's not negative. It's melancholic. I'm not sure what is the called in English. So and
Like a sad kind of dreaming.
yes, it's not distraction sad. It's sad. It's good sad. I mean, there is, and I think good place. I'm not, I missed this. So good place. Maybe some of musical instrument because it's nice press keys, you know, or something else and thinking or dreaming about something. So it's all.
Okay, yeah, sometimes I think, was it Luca who said sometimes if we're really stressed or something like that, maybe these daydreams aren't so happy because we're thinking about serious things or problems or things like that. And maybe that would make our daydreaming a little bit more sad or not quite so happy or just kind of excited about the future. Maybe then they'd be about other things. Artem?
I just wanted to add something to Luca's speech about the positive thoughts. Yes, he is right. It's a good thing to keep a positive attitude toward your life or your activity or whatever. But there is something which you have to be aware. If you will keep a positive thoughts, for example, tomorrow day will never happen, but it's happen. It's you have to be positive towards toward thing which you may change and do some stuff and put efforts in that to do, not just sitting, oh, everything will be great. It's a positive attitude have to go next to the actions.
Exactly. It's not just enough to think about it. You have to actually do something about it as well.
I just reminded I don't know which precisely section when you, Natasha, have mentioned your classmate. He didn't mention his name, who wanted to be as a volleyball player, and his father was a coach, but his son was too short, but he was desperate to accomplish. You have to know that your height, that his height was not enough to be successful player.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that it's not just enough to want something, but you have to have a way to get there, really. Just wanting it really badly isn't going to make it happen. Okay, guys. Well, we're at the end of the session for today, but did anyone else want to add anything before we finish? Any last ideas or comments or anything else you wanted to say? April?
So I think that the purpose of this daydreaming is to freshen our brain, to make it clear, to clear your mind, right? So, and I don't think the daydreaming is really a useful method to do that. I will think that the kind of mindfulness during your work at 5 minutes or 10 minutes mindfulness exercise is you can do that also. I don't know if it's better or worse. I don't know. But the children now in some schools here, children from the basic school, so 10 years, 9, 10 years old, they get a relaxed time, 10 minutes a day. So the between the lesson, sometimes the teacher lead the children with instructions how to breathe and how to make your mind clear, and another things to do is also doing playing games, just not games on your telephone, on your smartphone. No, there's some games. It's good to relax your brain actually, because if it's the purpose to just to refresh your brain and come back again with a fresh mind, and you can continue studying in the class with a better thought, then is it not daydreaming. Daydreaming is more difficult, I think, but this kind of method, I think it's more effective and it's more easier to do. Like mindfulness is like a kind of meditation, so you have to breathe, you have to relax your arms, you relax your legs, kind of that. I think that they started with that relax time. They called it relax time every day for the small children, and the children said that it helps.
Yes, I wouldn't mind some of that relaxed time in my day, actually. That sounds pretty good. Mena?
Okay, I just want to say that maybe daydreaming is considered a negative thing. When you imagine things and you can reach these dreams or things in reality. Yeah, I mean that you should be a real person. I think so.
Yeah, maybe you need to be realistic about it, and maybe the daydreams are more useful if it's about realistic things and not about turning into a dragon or flying to the moon or something like that, something that's not realistic. Artem?
I just wanted to make a joke. If you will dream too long, you will reach enlightenment at some point. Like a monk.
Maybe, you never know.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we might finish here for today then. Thank you all very much. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope it was interesting. And remember, we've still got the forum, the topic open on the forum as well. So if you haven't, go and check out some of the things that people have read there. It's very interesting, and leave some more ideas as well, especially about the electric shock, about whether you'd prefer to have the electric shock or to have no distractions for 15 minutes, okay? Because that part's interesting. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and talk to you later in the week. Don't forget to hit the red button to hang up. Bye, everyone.
Bye.